Are you living your passion? What is your passion? Welcome to the Luxe Life Discovered podcast, where we talk with people who are living a lifestyle that reflects their passion, because we believe everyone should enjoy living their best life, their Luxe Life.
Hello, I'm Rick Steiner. We're back with another episode of Luxe Life Discovered. My co-host today is Lauren Hopkins. Glad to have you with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, great. We're glad you're here. And then our guest today is Maxine Orange of Maxine Orange Art.
Yes, sir. Happy
Fort
to be
Walton.
here.
Well, we're glad to have you here. I wish we had taped a lot of what we were talking about before we were on the air because it's all so fascinating and we're all just like so many different ideas going at one time and everything. So, but tell us a little about yourself. And then we'll go from there.
Okay. I'm Maxine Orange. I'm an artist and a designer, and I kind of refer to myself as a multifaceted creative. I love to collaborate with other creative people. Like we were just saying, I work with a photographer that I also kind of co-host on his podcast. And I'm in the midst of opening my own art gallery in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. So I'm really excited about that. And this is actually a nice little break from my getting ready for that, a little drive over to Panama City. So I'm going to head back this evening and finish hanging the art.
Go back
and
to work.
get everything all wrapped up tomorrow, and the grand opening's on Thursday.
Well, good. Of course, this will air by the time the grand opening, but people need to come in and check out your studio.
Yes.
Because it's not only your work, like you said, you're featuring artists of 6 others. Is that
right?
right?
Right now I've added a couple more since then. So it may actually be like 8 other artists in addition to myself. And It's a variety of different things. There's paintings, hanging woven artwork that's like textural elements, and then there's some pottery. There's a lot of really cool like wood mosaics and hand worked like bowls and cutting boards and spoons that are all handmade. Lots of really cool stuff. And there's going to be some candles, lots of fun things for this event that are specifically great for holiday gifts and stuff.
Right. And we always want to shop local.
Yeah,
So
handmade.
that's good.
Everything's
Yes.
handmade, one of a kind. Very unique things. And on my way here, I was talking to a good friend of mine, Dwight, who when I first moved here, I was part of his gallery at Gulf Place on 30A. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I was telling him how pretty much all the artwork in the gallery is not beachy. And he was like, oh, well, that's interesting because he has a different mentality than that. He thinks, he's a big believer of everybody that comes to the beach wants to buy beach art. And it is true, but I think we're in a time that we can have, there's a lot of places that sell beachy art. And so somebody's got to do something different. And
True.
by golly, it's going to be me.
There you go.
Well, and Fort Walton is, you have the beach, but you have so many other things going on there.
Yeah.
Industrial, you have a lot of history. You've got the military not far from there. So you can really kind of branch out.
And I'm actually involved in a project for downtown Fort Walton Beach as well that we're meeting about next week to add a lot of murals to downtown Fort Walton. So I'm really excited about that. And that kind of is a good branch off of this because it's like they're just going to be colorful, fun design, all over downtown.
So you'll have a mural that everybody will have a picture in front of all over the country, all over the internet.
And it's not just going to be me painting murals. It's going to be a lot of different artists. And it's not like just one big mural. We're looking at all the different buildings and approaching all the different businesses and, going to get as many all over the place as we can because there's a lot of great walls that could use some color and some life.
I think
Panama
that's great.
City has been doing that. I don't know if you've seen it. And they did something that I thought was really unique. Instead of, they have a lot of walls, but like those large electrical boxes that are just these hideous.
Like the green?
Those hideous boxes.
Because why they do that is because those are get graffitied on a lot. And if there's already art on them, then they won't be as likely to have graffiti on them.
They're beautiful murals on these, so they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I just thought that was really
I remember
unique.
when they put that project out, Panama City looks great, by the way. I haven't been over here in a while, and it was so refreshing to see like how good it looks after.
Old city is starting to come back.
Yeah. Last time I was over here was, all the tarps and stuff.
And Fort Walton Beach is doing that too, though. And are you going to be, where's your location?
I'm on Eglin Parkway, right off of Hollywood. So it's close to downtown, but like, they're doing that whole downtown resurrection. But I just mean like after the hurricane and stuff. Yeah.
This episode of Luxe Life Discovered is brought to you in part by Steiner Event Group. Steiner Event Group is a national event planner that produces results for their clients. They offer event and wedding planning on any scale, hosting bridal shows, scouting talented models, and producing riveting concept photo shoots to help their clients expand their brands, products, and services. Whether you're a business professional aiming to take your brand to the next level, planning a corporate or private event, a bride seeking to have the wedding of your dreams, or a model ready to be discovered, Steiner Event Group is ready for you.
There's still some areas that, are coming back still, but man, just the improvement in a short period of time has really been impressive. So
yeah. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah. Well, and it's brought a lot of new businesses into town. The people that came into work, a lot of their companies have relocated here. A lot of the employees have relocated here as well. So it's been a something great coming from something so tragic because it was devastating. Yeah,
the rainbow after the storm.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Well, of course, we follow each other on Instagram and we met recently. Yeah. But I'm an event planner and do weddings as well. So your portraits. Abstract
bridal portraits.
Yes.
Yeah, those I have all these other things, and then I also have that.
Yeah. But what she does is live paintings at wedding receptions and different events too, I guess. But and
also commissioned that I do from photos so in addition to the live painting.
Paint that
a lot of times for an anniversary or I have a couple that I'm doing for Christmas gifts.
Right.
That are just commissioned from a photo.
Okay. All right.
But the live painting has been a big trend as of the past couple of years, as you know.
Right.
And so I got in on it right at the right time, I think. And it's not for every artist.
I can see that.
I could imagine you have to be a very skilled artist
and very patient.
So many distractions happening at that time. And you're part of the entertainment.
I'm part of the entertainment. And you just have to kind of try to tune everything out. But a lot of people want to come up and talk and see what's going on.
Because they're intrigued, because a lot of people have never seen that before.
Yeah. And luckily for me, I do go pretty fast when I'm doing that. So it's fine for me to break it up that way. And then, so during the event, I usually get I always say it's usually 90% of the painting done at the wedding reception. And then I typically take it home with me and, finish it in my studio, so I have proper lighting and everything, because a lot of times it gets dark.
Right.
And I bring lights, but it's not perfect.
So tell me a little about yourself. Are you from the area originally, or did you move here?
I grew up in Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
And then I went to the University of Alabama.
Okay.
For 5 good years in Tuscaloosa. That's the way everybody should do that in Tuscaloosa. I did.
Make it last as long as you can.
Yes. And Roll Tide, by the way. And
I was waiting for it. Yeah. She's going to say, you can't say one without the other.
Right, yeah.
Especially this week.
It's
true. It's
that, and if anyone
this week, last week, the week before.
Do they get?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like if you meet a Georgia fan, though, they can't just say without go Dogs. It's it doesn't complete the sentence.
It's like Mississippi State. When Margaret Allen's here.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Hell State. It's all your little things that go with it. Yeah.
But Roll Tide is extra special.
That's right.
Haven't you ever seen that ESPN commercial where they're all the different things and they're Roll Tide?
Oh, I have.
Because it has no meaning whatsoever.
But it's synonymous with that. Yeah. So
Anyways, so I went to Alabama, and then I moved to New York after I graduated, or after I was done with my 5 years. I got the diploma a few years later down the road, but that's a whole different story. But I do have it hanging on the wall.
That's great. I like
a Bachelor of Fine Arts from Alabama.
Yeah.
I studied art and graphic design. And so when I moved to New York, I got a job working with a magazine and then for a PR firm in their design department. And then I met my husband in New York as well. And he also grew up in Alabama, but he's from Dothan. I'm from Montgomery. He went to Auburn. I went to Alabama. But then we found out all this crazy stuff. Like our parents all went to high school together, and our grandfathers played poker together. So we had like all the we never had to have that weird thing where like your parents meet for the first time. They all already knew each other.
That is weird. And you met in New York.
Yeah,
not here.
But we had a lot of mutual friends. So when I was going there, I was like, I had probably 4 different friends of mine that were like, oh, call. So I called him and we just became friends, and then the rest is history.
Here you are.
But so ever since I met him, he was like talking about wanting to move to California because he wanted to surf. He grew up skateboarding and he wanted to surf. And so we moved to Huntington Beach, California. And then I was like, oh, no big deal. I'll be able to get a job with one of those surf brands. No biggie. That took like 2 years for me to get in there, but I got a great job working for Quicksilver, doing graphic design for Quicksilver, Roxy, DC Shoes, and all the brands that were like under that umbrella at the time. I did mostly graphics for like trade show booths and mostly their retail stores that were like rolled out all over the world. We were just like, it was kind of like doing the same thing over and over for stores everywhere.
Right.
But then there would be some fun ones that were different, and we did window displays and anything that you would see inside of a Quicksilver or Roxy store. So that was a wonderful experience and like the coolest place to ever work at that time. But then they started like laying off a bunch of people, and then we had the opportunity to take ownership of an insurance agency here in Fort Walton. It was either going to be Panama City or Fort Walton. And Fort Walton ended up working out. And so I took a little detour on my career path and got into the insurance business with my husband for a little while. But at the same time, I've still always continued with all my art stuff. Like as soon as we moved here, I was mentioning Gulf Place. Like that was the first place I went right when I got here because I had another friend that had her art there. And so I unloaded my art into one of those little shops before we even really knew like where we were going to live.
Right. So.
Because we were like figuring out where we wanted to be and stuff. But being there was a great experience because it was like on, the west end of 30A.
Right.
And I lived in Destin, but being there, the artists that have their art there each have to work there one day of the week. And so I met so many people being there, and I have so many amazing connections. And I mean, networking is just kind of like in my blood. It's just kind of a natural, intuitive thing to me. And so I have just like great relationships with people from here to there and beyond that I've kept in touch with. And like, I'm really excited to see who shows up at this party on Thursday.
That's going to be fun because I bet you will be surprised to see some people that you may have not forgotten about, but that you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah. And there are all these amazing people that support me in this journey.
Yeah. I'm excited for you because that's such a big step.
Yeah.
Because it's, anytime you do something like that, it's not just like, I'm just going to open a gallery.
With By the Sea Resorts, you have so many options, you never have to settle. By the Sea Resorts offers 5 restaurants and 11 hotels where you can enjoy the sights and the sounds of the Gulf, spread out in spacious guest rooms. Or book your next event or meeting in one of our many customizable spaces. For dining, we're serving up sunshine and good times at all 3 of our Barefoot restaurant locations. Or experience waterfront dining at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. And enjoy live entertainment every weekend at House of Bourbon. By the Sea Resorts. We're saving you a front row seat.
I'm kind of acting like it's like that, like it's nonchalant, no big deal, but everybody else is like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, it's just the next thing on the one foot in front of the other,
Well, and that's with everything you've accomplished already so far, it's just the way you live life.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
I love that you're opening it, though, and giving it a platform for other artists who, at some point later on, might open their own gallery.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like fulfilling like what was happened for you. So that's really cool and special.
And I've always been that way. Like I love cultivating creative collaboration and working with other artists because I want everybody to succeed. There's enough room for all of us to do something, and we're all doing something in our own way and making, nobody's like copying somebody else's art. It's all like super cool, one of a kind. All these people that are part of this are like amazing artists, and I am so proud of them as well.
So where did your love for art originate?
Ooh,
is it something that you've always?
Yeah, I think I've just always loved creating and making. And like when I was a little kid, at both of my grandmother's houses, there was like a big, huge closet full of art supplies. And that's where I would always go to first.
Yeah.
How fun. And
I bet she just loved every minute.
Oh, my God. Yeah. My grandma, Ina, my dad's mom, she was like, like her whole life, if you were to go to her house, she was sitting there crocheting.
Always, yeah.
Always doing something.
That's neat, yeah.
That's so exciting to share that.
Yeah. And then to be able to pass that on, hopefully someday.
And not only just making stuff, but also giving back through the making. So like all those things that she was crocheting, she would like donate.
That's neat, yeah.
And that, created that in me as well.
Something you mentioned too about everything that your studio is all original.
Yeah.
So don't you think with COVID and everything we've been through the last couple of years, people appreciate that more now than ever? I mean, not that they haven't, but I think that would be the case.
And I think it's pushed a lot of people to do more of what they want to do. Like me doing this is like, I just stood up and said, yeah, I'm doing this. Like, I'm going to succeed at it because it's what I want to do. Like, we're not it's like we're living life the way that we want to because
you don't know.
We've seen like the dark side or something, it's like you better live life the way you want to live it or you might not have it at all.
Well, there's no guarantees with anything.
Yeah.
Health, age, or
it could end at any moment. Yeah. So do what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, I firmly believe that. And that's, we were talking on an earlier podcast that about comfort zones. And I was saying that, my wife wishes I had some because that's where I am. I was always on the outside, trying to just see what's possible. And I think she's like, if you would just stay in your room maybe for a day, just shut up. It's like,
I think my husband would agree with her.
Yeah, mine too. It's like, can we not vacation together? Like we vacation so different.
Well, my wife is talking about retiring within the year, and she's like, I think it's time for the place in Florida. And I'm like, that'd be great because I could work. She goes, no. I don't mean for like us to be there at the same time. So
I've heard about that. I've heard about things like that.
She's like, I'll go down, and then when I want to come home, you can go down.
Okay.
And my children, they're in their mid-30s and then early 30s. But, they're like, can you not go somewhere and not meet someone? And I'm like, no. It's just like, that's just me.
Not a thing.
So, no.
Not a thing. That's
so,
boring.
and that brings up something, too. Your personality, I mean, you're very friendly, outgoing. So I can't imagine you ever meeting a stranger either.
No, I love meeting new people all the time. My husband was just talking about that. He's like, every time you talk about somebody, you're like, oh, my friend so-and-so. And I'm like, well, they're all my friends. Like everybody's my friend. I love making new friends.
Right. We, do you ever watch like a reality show? There's, it's a young couple out in Nashville and they vacation at Rosemary Beach all the time. But, Debbie will always talk about her fake friend, Mallory.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of reality TV.
Well, they're influencers, not really.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's like, my fake friend Mallory said. I'm like, come on. So we get tickled about that. But so what do you see like past the gallery? What's because I know you dream big.
That's a great question, Rick.
One day at a time.
I'm just gonna see what happens with this, and I'm gonna keep painting more murals, and I'm going to keep painting live at weddings and making. Right now, what I have to do is figure out how to manage my time better, because I want to keep doing all these things, and I have to figure out how to continue being able to do all of them.
Well, how do you do that? Because you do have a lot going on, and then
I'm figuring it out right now.
I know, because for people like us, it's hard to do, because I'm the same way. You want to commit to everything, and you don't want to miss an opportunity, but at some point, it's like you just can only do so much. In fact, this is crazy, but on October 22nd, I'm doing a wedding here in Panama City Beach. And I had this bride's mother from Missouri who called, and her daughter's getting married October 22nd in Bentonville, Arkansas. And I told her, I said, well, I've already committed to a wedding. And she's like, but we want you to do it. And so by the time the conversation was over, I'm doing her wedding also.
Do you have a big staff?
I have a person in Bentonville that will actually be there the day up, but they're good with that.
Because they can execute without you.
Yeah,
and you trust them to do that.
Once we get everything lined out, she just brings it all together. But, it's like I couldn't just say no.
Right.
And she's like, but we have to have you. I'm like, but I can't be there. She's like, do you think you could be here and not there? I'm like, no. That's not an option.
Well, one thing that I'm really excited about, I haven't officially booked them yet, but I just got email confirmation back for 2 live painting weddings in the spring of 22. And one of them is in Birmingham. So that's the first one that I'm doing that's outside of the Gulf Coast area, which I'm from Montgomery. So, and it's like a friend of a friend, or family of a friend of mine. So I'm so excited about that.
Well, I was going to ask you, so where all do you work? Mainly it's here, but you will travel?
I will travel for the right price,
Yeah, sure. That's right.
I mean, I just, basically need enough to... it's the time of driving and the place to stay.
Right.
But, I'm having fun no matter where I am, so I'm excited about it.
This episode of Luxe Life Discovered is brought to you in part by Orville's Men's Store. Thank you, Orville's Men's Store, for supplying the men's clothing for today's podcast. For the absolute best in casual and dress wear for men, visit orvillesms.com. That's ORVILLESMS.com.
Now, do you do these on TikTok at all? Or, that's how I actually had heard of this.
I don't do TikTok. I have Instagram and Facebook, and I'm like, that's as much as I can handle.
It's hard to add that to the list of things to multitask.
When I'm big enough that I can get an assistant, they can handle the TikTok. But I'm not there yet.
I didn't know that was a thing. I've been married 10 years this month. So when I saw that, I was like, that is incredible, and how special. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's kind of they're gaining traction even more now, I feel
it's a treasure they have for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So many things you spend the money on a wedding, and then it's over and you don't really remember it anymore.
And I don't know if you've had other live painters at many of your weddings or not.
Yeah, mainly corporate events, but not weddings,
Okay. But from what I see from a lot of the other ones, I feel, and they're all amazing, but I feel like all the other ones are a lot better with the details than I am, because
that's your personality.
But I have a unique abstract style, and nobody can touch that.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing, is we all do it different, and that's what being an artist is all about. And I celebrate that. And and I was just this is a really funny story, but I got a message from one of my girlfriends that I worked with in California. Actually, the other day, she sends me this message on Instagram, and she's like, "Hey, I think I saw you in this video." And it's, you get one of those fake messages on Facebook. Is this you at this time in this video? And I was like, but it was weird because it was in an existing message that I had with her. And so I was like,
So you think it's,
I felt like it was fake, but I was like, is this really you, Tammy? and I was like, I've never heard of that person in the video. Send me a link. What are you talking about? And it was this girl that's like a blogger or something, but she talks about bridezillas. And she gets all these questions. I don't know if you know who she is. I can't think of her name right now, but you may have seen the picture on my Instagram. And, but so she's like, there's a picture of you in the video at this moment. And so I went and I found it, and it was a picture of me. And she was like, had this letter that somebody had written in about the price of live painting and was it worth it for around $1,000. And she gave us props for like the work that we're doing. And I was like, thank you, girl.
Yeah.
And I was so honored that of all the pictures on the internet, when she searched live painters or live painting, that she found one of me.
And that it's a positive comment.
Yes, absolutely. If it went the other way, I was going to be like,
that's not me. So, well, and I'm excited because at my bridal show,
yes, I
in
can't
February,
wait.
you're going to be doing a live painting.
Yes,
so
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have 2 so far for the spring, and then I'm sure that's going to bring some more.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's such a big thing. 40 years ago when my wife and I got married, we didn't do live paint. That was not the thing then. In fact, we have a
video?
recording of it. We don't even know the video is just audio. But
cool.
when we get to the vows and we, I say richer, or she says richer and poor. Well, poor never comes out. I think she forgot that word. She was kind of like richer or poor. Like I think she was in for like the one aspect of it. It's
she said it in front of God.
As long as he heard her. Huh?
That's right.
I don't think he could hear that one.
He's like, what?
No.
What'd you say?
Yeah. It's like, excuse me? Yeah. So, no. But it is amazing how weddings have changed so much, and then what, brides were asking and requesting. But to me, the live painting is just absolutely one of the neatest things because, like you said, it's something that they have forever, and it's something they can pass down as well.
Yeah.
And then wouldn't it be nice, of course, then that's going to age, but to if you did a young couple getting married, especially when you're first starting out, and then do their daughter's wedding later. That would be, I think that'd be amazing too.
And I've only had like 1 or 2 now that have ended in divorce. And
we're not going to talk about my wedding track records. It's like there was a couple of years it's like nobody survived. I'm like, what is wrong?
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then one girl called me and wanted me
I want to know who
wedding.
got the painting.
That's true. Good point.
Or can I have it back?
It's like, would you like to donate to the studio? Yeah.
But my other friend who's unfortunately in the middle of it right now, she's like, I think I might just have you paint a picture of me in like a big flowy dress on top of it. I was like, I like that idea.
Well, that is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Recycle. Yeah.
It's like when they cut them out of photos, you might just have to go back in and like cover him up with something else.
Or tell them when she remarries, just put the face on the next guy.
We're going to do a whole new one then.
No, I'm just playing. All right. Well, believe it or not, our time is already up. That's crazy.
Yeah, I knew it would fly by.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being with us today. And
Thank you so much for having me.
Good.
It's been fun.
Oh, it has been. It has been. All right. Well, I'm Rick Steiner. That's another episode of Luxe Life Discovered, and we will be back with another episode soon. See you. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and want to support our show, leave us a review. That's the #1 way to help this show reach others just like you. Join us next time for another Luxe Life Discovered.